Welcome, dear listeners, to the pit of macabre musings. Once more I bring another victim into my lair to discuss grim and dark mysteries which have baffled man for centuries. Today's guest is Maurice Gevirtz. Maurice, you've come here to talk about a topic that is very important and very grave. A mystery so deep and dark and twisted that it has driven many philosophers utterly mad. What is the opposite of tinfoil?
Paper mache.
Fascinating. Do you care to justify your answer?
Well, when I think of tinfoil, I think of thin, terrible pieces of metal. Tearable. Easy to tear.
Yes, terrible as opposed to terrible. I understand you quite well. Continue.
And it's certainly inorganic. It is, after all, aluminum with some oxide layers. And when I think of paper mache, it is organic. It's not really terrible. I mean, if you make it thick enough, you can't tear it at all. It's not like one long crystal. It's a bunch of layers. They're composite. It's not a pure single thing. Often there's ink in it. So it's impure in a certain way and tears poorly. More like it falls apart when wet. Unlike aluminum.
Fascinating. You have dispensed quite easily with one of the most complex mysteries in history. Therefore, I feel confident in lobbing another puzzler your way. Maurice Gevirtz, what is the opposite of the bottom of a shoe?
I would say the lunar surface.
Extraordinary. Would you care to explain your position, Mr. Gevirtz?
Well, it's important. I think some context here matters. I have lived in Turkey. So I recognize what the bottom of the shoe is like. I had one of my new sailors came onto my boat, and somehow shoes came into the conversation. I was standing in the companionway down below, so roughly at eye level with her shoes, and she happened to bring up that she's been carrying along, encrusted in the bottom of her boot, a mat of hair. And she shows me the bottom of her boot. And it's hideous. And I just think of all the filth that is carried on the soles of shoes. And they're wearing away, they're impermanent. You buy a shoe, and if you walk, any reasonable amount, the shoe is gone in a year or less. Whereas the lunar surface, on some level, has no filth. It's presumably quite homogeneous in some ways. It's been in the same form, apparently, for billions of years, right? Not a lot of geological things, not a lot of layers, nothing organic, apparently. Filth, after all, is really, what do we think of filth? We don't think of nuclear waste as filth. That's pollution, contamination, somehow different. Filth is organic. So the lunar surface has been barely stepped on, but don't worry, we'll get there. We can fuck it all up. Why stop at the Earth? So, therefore, the moon, opposite of soles of your shoes.
Absolutely riveting. I must commend you on your particularly grim, dark, and horrible description of the hair that was stuck to the bottom of the shoe. It chilled me to my very core. Thank you, sir. Now, it is clear to me that you have a towering intellect, and that no challenge is too great for your labyrinthian mind. Therefore I shall pose to you one further mystery. What is the opposite of a lollipop?
Incidentally, I did have a lollipop today on the boat, so let me think about it. A pearl.
You have stilled my heart. Will you not reveal to me the reasoning behind this extraordinary response?
I concede this was maybe one of my weaker responses. Your challenge was supreme. You may have overestimated my intellect. You said it was akin to a labyrinth, but maybe it's more Byzantine. Anyway, what is a lollipop? Well, it's organic. It's a lot of sugars, right? Maybe some oils. It's essentially two clear, distinct, crystal-y things, hardened things, made of sugar. And it's on a stick. Actually, it's usually a cardboard stick, right? Today the stick failed. Came right out of the Tootsie Center. It was a Tootsie Roll. I guess some lollipops are just continuously one thing. A pearl. What is it made out of? It's made out of calcium carbonate. It's inside of another hard thing, so it's two hard things. You don't suck on it. They're not really made of sugar. It's, it's like calcium carbonate and what's it called? Protein and stuff. I don't know. It just seems like I could have gone with a marble, perhaps, or a ball bearing, but that seemed too on the nose.
Absolutely fascinating. It would indeed be an absolutely horrific experience to suck upon a pearl, and no one would deign do so if they were quite sane. Mr. Gevirtz, you are entirely too humble. You deprecate yourself, but your powers of discovering opposites are truly magnificent. I bow before you, sir. You have been an excellent addition to our terrible and dismal program. Thank you so much for your contributions. Would you like to plug anything?
Interesting. Yes, I'd like to plug backyardwilderness.org. Free sailing tours in the San Francisco Bay Area. Cyclists desired. So check out the website. Sailing's always free. Backyardwilderness.org. I need crew. You should be my crew.
Absolutely fantastic. Well, you heard him, everyone. Should you wish to join Captain Morris in his nautical adventures, you may do so upon his vessel by contacting him at the website mentioned previously. That is all for this evening's episode of Night Question. Until next time, remain calm and don't move.